Hey guys, welcome back to Top Tier Sports. I'm Victor. I'm here with you to do our weekend recap. Not too much has happened since the last time we talked to you when Spencer came at you on Friday. So we're gonna just see how this all plays out. But there's really only a couple things to cover today. So we'll start with the XFL. Stick with us for that in the next 10 seconds, and then the NBA will talk to you at about the minute and a half mark, and then. Uh, from about the 2.5 minute mark on will just be NHL, and I want to highlight some things there. So, XFL, solid second weekend. We're getting to see a cool new exciting league. I haven't watched. I didn't even watch the second week. I just saw highlights. I did see that the LA Wildcats were the first team to successfully do a 3-point conversion, so that's pretty cool. They did it down 19-15 with like 4 minutes left in the game. Um, Interesting scenario to do it since that only put you back one. You didn't need a 3 point at all. It actually hurt you if you missed it. But anyways, nonetheless, it was really cool to see that they did it. And yeah, congrats to them. I also saw a lot of the cup snakes happening and all the sellies and guys drinking beer with all the fans. So it's cool how more relaxed and fun that league is. Now, on to the NBA. The only games that have happened were the skills comp slash all star events and dunk contest and the 3 point contest for the NBA, and then the game the next day. If you saw anything, we were tweeting about the game uh, a little bit towards the end. So yeah, try and keep up with our Twitter at Top Tier Sport, and you guys will try and be more up to date on any cool event or big thing happening at the time. So with that, there's a lot of controversy over the dunk contest. I don't know why it has to come down to so much controversy. Like ultimately, you have those judges there for a reason. But yeah, I do think that he got robbed. The 3 point contest was really cool. Congrats to Buddy Hield on at the last moment breaking or passing Devin Booker in points. And yeah, ultimately the All Star game was really cool itself. They did a little different format as a tribute to Kobe Bryant, where the fourth quarter was just 24 more points for the lead team to win. And this is the first time, from what I've heard from other people and watching a brief bit, that players cared so much about the game. I mean, there was fouls at the end just to prevent baskets. There was all these alpha male players arguing at the refs, and all of them who usually take the last shot out there at the same time. It was a really cool experience. Team LeBron wins it 157 to 155. And yeah, congrats to them. And overall, $500,000 total went to charity in this. So I went on a little bit more about that than I thought. Onto the NHL. Since we last spoke, there's one big trade I want to highlight, and that is that the New Jersey Devils and the Tampa Bay Lightning made a trade, sending Blake Coleman to the Lightning, and back to the Devils went a prospect and a first round pick. It wasn't the Lightning's first round pick, it was a pick they had obtained from Vancouver in the JT Miller trade. Upon looking into this more, I love this for the Lightning. It's just another depth piece they have to make a playoff run this year, as they're quickly going up the standings and are on a 10-game win streak at the moment. I'll get to that in a sec. I like it for New Jersey because clearly they're in a rebuild and they're just trying to get picks now, so that way they can, and not just picks, but good picks. There's first round picks that will really help them make a difference and changes moving forward. And Blake Coleman, who's coming off back-to-back and possibly now a third 20-goal seasons, he'll probably slot in at least at the beginning on the third line with the Lightning. This team has depth like crazy, and I think, especially after facing the biggest upset in the Stanley Cup playoffs in history, being swept last year in the first round, that they really have something to fight for this year, and that it'll change. So now we're going to go into a little segment about the standings before we finally get into what I'm going to call the host selection, where if we have extra time at the end of each episode, whichever one of the three of us, between Brett, myself, and Spencer, is the one talking to you that day, they get about 30 seconds to a minute, time pending, to just go on a tangent about whatever they want. So, in the standings, right now, Boston and Washington in the East are still on top of their respective divisions in the Atlantic and Metro. However, the second place teams in those divisions of the Lightning and the Penguins have really come up fast. The Lightning are now only 3 points behind the Bruins with one less game played, so a win there, and they're only one or a half game back. And then in the Metro, the Capitals only have one more point than the Penguins, but the Penguins have one less game played. So with a win, the Penguins will leapfrog into first. This would be pretty big, especially because originally I didn't know if Boston or Washington would be able to be caught up to. I thought the Lightning could do it. I didn't think the Pens could do it, but they are just on fire lately. Second best team at home in hockey, and that's part of the reason they've been able to go on this insanely good run lately. That with a lot of their star players back. So, now onto the Lightning finally. I think it's their year. Here's my tangent. They have a 10-game win streak going. They're shooting for first place in that division. And with the addition of Blake Coleman, there's no reason that they shouldn't be able to go to at least the Eastern Conference Final. At this point in time, I might have my two teams in Pittsburgh and Tampa playing each other in the Eastern Conference Final. But yeah, I love the addition of Blake Coleman. Like I said, they're on a 10-game win streak that's tied for the longest this year with themselves from back in November to December. And one other team, they play the Avalanche tonight, so we'll see if they can extend that and go Lightning. I'm biased. But yeah, I could see this team making a serious run and not being a laughingstock like they were after last year's playoffs. Which also, if they can take over the front spot of that division, that means that as of right now, Boston would be playing Toronto in the first round for I think the third or fourth straight year, if not more. And we all know how that goes. And bet the house on Boston in the first round at that point, because Toronto can never beat them in the playoffs. So, thanks for tuning in to Top Tier Sports on the Beer League Bench Talk. Make sure to like, comment, smash that subscribe button. And please check out our Twitter at Top Tier Sport, as Jared is going to try and get you, along with these video links, a lot more up-to-date news and other events as they happen. Thanks, guys.